The story took place in 2003 in a small town called Wan'an in Shangpu County, Shangzhou City, Fujian Province, China. During the summer vacation that year, the town cut down an old tree to build the library. This tree was growing in the schoolyard. The big tree was many years old. The tree bark was very thick but did not appear to be a precious tree. The tree trunk was so overgrown that it had to be cut down. When adults were busy with work, naughty kids never lost this joy. After the workers cut down the tree, someone was trying to dig up this giant stump. But the stump was large and so hard to dig up. We took advantage of their digging to find all sorts of things to play with from the tree stump. We were hoping to find something interesting inside the stump. After a few of my friends picked up the silkworms, I was also a bit worried because I didn't know if there was anything else I could pick up. When I saw the deep hole at the tree base, I lay down on the ground and looked inside to see if anything was left. But it was so dark inside I couldn't see anything. I could only reach in with my hands and guess whether there was something in or not. After rummaging around for a while, I finally found something strange in the soil and roots. I secretly hoped it was a good item. I took it out and looked at it. It was a coal black ball and looked very mysterious. It looked like it would be interesting. I thought I had got much better stuff than my friends and their rock. I was afraid that the black ball would be snatched by my friends. Therefore, I didn't say anything to anyone about the coal black ball. I silently picked it up and hid it in my body. We played for a while and it was getting dark. I brought this mysterious black ball home with joy and excitement. My father was working at a fish process factory in town. Every day he worked overtime, and every time he came home late. Seeing me bring back the strange ball, my mother blamed me for picking up something so dirty. After eating, I went back to my room to rest. My mother reminded me to take a shower, change my clothes and throw away that dirty black lump. But I didn't expect my nightmare to start from that moment. Really terrible. At 10 o'clock in the evening, it was pitch black outside with no streetlights. The scene became quiet and scary. At this time, my father got home from work. My mother left the food for him and waited for him to come home to eat. My father did not forget to ask my mother if I had gone to bed. My mother also replied that I had long gone to bed after a long day of playing. At that time, the East China Sea also had a lengthy fishing ban. Summer was the peak fishing season. My dad would be very busy. Almost all summer I didn't see him. But on the day when fishing was banned, Dad would be free. My mother and I were used to my father's work arrangement. That day I heard my mother tell me that the night when my father came home and was preparing to eat, my parents heard a loud sound of objects falling from my room. They all thought that I hadn't slept yet. My parents believed that I was naughty in the room. "Looks like our son hasn't slept," my father said. At that time, my mother was a very disciplined and strict person. Hearing noises in the room, my mother wanted to scold me. She got up and went into my room. As soon as she opened the door, she cursed into my room. My mother asked me why I hadn't slept yet but disturbed my father like that. He was eating rice after a busy day. But when my mother opened the door and looked into my room, she was shocked to see the scene before her eyes. My mother said that I wasn't sleeping in my bed but hanging myself from the curtain wire. Because the curtain cord was too tight and blood could not flow through, my face was as white as suffocation and my pupils kept turning white. My father heard my mother's screams and ran to my room immediately. My father screamed in horror when he saw me hanging. Together, the two of them hugged me down from the window. I even didn't realize that because I was unconscious. They put me on the bed and patted my chest and back for a long time. My mother was so scared that she cried a lot. Due to being discovered and rescued in time, I finally woke up. I tried to recall and tell them about a nightmare I had just had, but my mother said that they didn't think they had seen a ghost at that time. They thought I might be sleepwalking or have some sort of psychological problem. but this incident scared both. My parents let me sleep in their room and they watched over me all night. However, that terrible situation did not reappear all night. My parents slowly breathed a sigh of relief. The next day, my father went to work again. My mother was worried and did not want me to hang out because what happened to me last night still scared her very much, but I could feel that I was perfectly fine. I didn't feel comfortable at home. I wanted to meet a classmate, so I asked my mother's permission to go out. My mother told me to remember to come back soon. I ran to the square in the center of town with a close school friend. We laughed and talked a lot with each other. For more than 1 hour, I had fun with my friends. My mother washed clothes and prepared everything without me and my father. Suddenly, a friend who was playing with me came to my house and told my mother that something had happened to me. And he told my mother about the horrible experience I had outside. My friend said I was almost hanged and was being taken to the clinic. At that time, I was taken to the clinic in town. My mother ran there with my classmate. As soon as I entered the clinic, my mother saw me lying on the hospital bed in an unconscious state. My mother later recounted that I had a deep knot on my neck at that time. My blood was oozing out a lot. I had suffered severe blood loss. The doctor said that fortunately I was treated in time. It was not life-threatening. My breathing and heart rate were normal, but somehow I was still unconscious. Both my mother and the doctor felt that my problem was not simple, so they asked a friend who played with me what went on. My friend said what just happened was scary. We encountered a ghost, and that ghost almost killed me. My friend told them that we played games together in the gym area of the street park in the morning. They suddenly saw me walking to the woods in the park alone. My friends didn't know why I was acting so weird. They all thought I found something hilarious inside. 2 of my friends followed me and went into the forest, but my friends saw me standing under a big tree. They called me twice, but I didn't answer. Instead, I started climbing to the top of the big tree without a sound. They called me several more times, but I still didn't answer. They stood below to see what I would do when I climbed the tree. But my friends saw that besides me there was another terrible thing in the tree that made them shocked. It was a female ghost wearing a red dress. The ghost looked hideous and scary. That female ghost was holding my hand and pulling me up the tree. After I was pulled up the tree, the female ghost hung me with a prepared noose on a tree branch. I didn't know why I didn't have any struggle or resistance at the time. The female ghost disappeared after hanging me. I was strangled and stuck out my tongue right after. My friends who witnessed the incident quickly screamed and called for the adults nearby to save me and take me to the medical station. At first, my mother and the doctor did not believe my friend's description, but the doctor took my hand and found a dark handprint on my wrist. This made them believe what my friend said. Then the doctor also found the mysterious black ball that I was holding in my hand. After learning that this ball was picked up from under the tree, the doctor recognized the problem. He was equally alarmed. The doctor said that maybe this ball was made up of the resentment of the person who hanged himself after death, and it lay on the soil under the body of the hangman. About what the doctor said, I also checked it myself. It was also recorded in the medical record of the medical examiner. Later, when my father heard the news, he ran into the hospital to visit me and was instructed to burn the other black ball in the garden with a peach branch. As soon as my dad burned it, I hadn't been hanged for any reason since. Everything was back to normal. The formation of a black ball in the soil at the feet of a dead person by hanging has not been scientifically proven, but there were many records such as Xingyu Lu and other ancient books.